All right. Uh, as promised, we're back with the Nicki Minaj and Joe Budden interview. I've done a part one. If you want to go and have a look at that. So without further ado, I'm just gonna jump back into part two. And please like and subscribe. I'm on the road to 10K. I think I'm 110 shot or whatever. But yeah. Anyway, let's just continue with part two. Here we go.
Actors. And actors. Can you imagine? And the director of the movie, and who actually wrote that line right here in this? Because whoever wrote that, what?
Okay, I'll offer some pushback.
Okay.
If Bruce Willis goes and kills 50 people in a movie,
I'm afraid I can't read fast enough to keep up with my work.
To stay focused on my work and save time, I use speed.
no one says a word. The second that he does it in real life, we might have to go back and look at that movie and make it applicable in court. No?
But we wouldn't. We wouldn't. Rap is the only genre of music, first of all, in my opinion. Rap is the only culture that from the beginning of time has been vilified. Like,
Yeah. Well. Yeah. She's telling the truth right there. Yeah. Yeah. When like there's like actual hip hop police. So yeah. It is so true. It seems like he is a bit targeted. I mean, in rock and roll, I don't think there's like rock and roll police officers or something, but there is hip hop police. So, yep, Nick is absolutely right. That's true.
from the very beginning, we have been treated like the bad guy. We have.
Well, we were the stepchild since inception.
Yeah,
Fact.
yeah. So they've been blaming us for stuff forever since the beginning. So it's not like they do that to actors. It would be different if y'all always point a finger at actors, and then Bruce Willis does something, and then we say, oh, see what he was doing in his movie. No, Bruce Willis doesn't wear a target on his back every day as an actor.
No.
No, rappers do. They look at us where we're from. We can't help where we're from. We can't help that we are from the hood and we didn't have anything and we had to do certain things to get money. We can't help that. I'm sure Bruce Willis.
She, I wanted to say Nicki Minaj got the crazy eyes. She just says those. She looks like she's like a woman who'd run with a knife and like she would stab the shit out of you. I'm not saying that she would or not, but I'm just saying she's got the crazy eyes. She's very beautiful.
Willis probably didn't have to do those things. So he's looked at as more as a law-abiding citizen. So our minds won't even go there. If he
Yeah.
was to go to a court for something like that, they wouldn't even bring up his movies.
Because he gets to go be Bruce Willis when he goes home, and you don't get to go be Onika.
Right,
I understand.
right. We're held to a different level of judgment. We just, from the beginning of time, we always have been. So I don't think they would ever bring up any movies that these, especially the white actors do. Now maybe a 50 Cent show or movie, maybe they would do it to them. I think it's just about the culture. I think it's just about our culture. I think even if it was a black movie, sometimes they would do the same thing. I just don't think any culture that's predominantly white ever deals with that.
Are you aware Eric Adams, the New York mayor?
Oh,
And
about
what-
drill music.
Yeah. He said his son let him hear something and said, hey, this is dangerous shit. And then he went on the news and said this needs to be abolished or something of the sort. And then all the drill rappers responded. But yeah, Eric Adams thinks that drill music is a threat and it's the reason that New York City crime is increased.
Shame
I
on
mean,
him.
first of all, listen. This is this like it's been happening to hip hop like any type of hip hop when it all started like when that whole remember when they were saying gangster rap is like to blame on every crime in America, they used to say that. So it just happens like so this is the new thing, drill music, they don't understand it or whatever, that's the new thing they want to blame on crime and stuff like that instead of looking on the potential reasons why crimes are high or like these like are they creating enough jobs, like instead of looking deep rooted like, on why crimes are high, they want to find like the easiest thing to blame. It will be like, oh yeah, this new genre or whatever, this genre of music, this type of music, these black kids, young black kids, they are the ones, they're the sole reason to blame for a certain like crime spree or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's been happening for time, and it's a shame, really. It's a shame.
Shame on him.
And shouldn't somebody else educate him outside of his child?
God.
And shouldn't he spend more time on educating himself than just speaking about it the very next day?
Well, I think that and what you just said, if we even just start looking at that, why is he doing that? The reason why he's probably doing that is to point the finger. Oh, hey, if anybody ever looks at my record as, mayor and whatever, it's this drill music. That's what it is. Let's get this out of here. What? Well, drill music wasn't around in the 80s when everything was, why they had to do the Just Say No campaign and all this stuff when it was all this drugs and murder rate crazy skyrocketing. Was drill music there, Mr. Adams? No. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I think they blame rap music in the 80s too, though.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
But they don't. But they didn't blame.
That's what I just said.
Rock stars. Rock.
That is what I just said about blaming the rap or whatever. It's like I was just talking about right now, like about the hip hop police. Like there's hip hop police, but I don't hear there's like and I can hear Nicki Minaj is about to go into it as well. That there's no rock and roll. I mean, they're not blaming the rock stars for like drug crimes or whatever, because apparently they do drugs, right? They are really on that you know. But hey, you don't hear no one blame them for high drug abuse overuse or something like that. So hey, it is what it is.
Rock and roll has been at the front of doing partying for a very long time. Drugs,
I just
sex,
said that.
drugs, and rock and roll, right?
Synonymous.
But when you see one of these white rock stars, our minds don't go on crime and drugs and all this bad stuff. Why?
It's a different image. It's different treatment. Like I was about to ask you about just longevity in rap as a woman, but when you think of rock and rollers and you think longevity is what, 50, 60 years?
It's not non-existent.
You've been around how long now?
Well, I guess since technically 2007. Technically 2007. So.
Do you feel the weight of being tasked with adding to what longevity as a woman in hip hop looks like today?
Of course.
Like, cause you're basically like I don't want to say the blueprint, but that's where we are now. We had Kim who had a run. We had Foxy who had a run. Lauren had a run. Missy had a run.
Pay dues.
Today, though, you just kind of get to run and create and do as you please. It's a different era. It's a different time.
Yeah.
Is there pressure that comes with it?
Of course. Because in the very beginning of my career, I would always say in interviews that I don't feel that female rappers were given their just due in terms of on a long-term spectrum. Like, in my opinion, how they, and
Alright, before she gets into this, I want to say this. It always seems like there's always there's always, instead of like it being like how the male rappers are, like there's so many like different rappers who can be on top at the very same time. It feels like with the females, it's only one which is allowed to be on top. And if someone try to come through, they try and pit them against each other, like just like Nicki and Cardi or Lil Kim and Nicki Minaj. And to be fair, some of these female rappers as well are to blame as well. I feel like Nicki played a part in this whole beef thing as well. So I'm very interested in what she has to say regarding this whole female rapper thing.
In my opinion, the female rappers before me, I would always say they should have retired as moguls, right? Like big, huge moguls. And I would say, why isn't there a female version of Jay-Z, who at that time, even when I was coming in, we could see that he was on moguls, that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was like, I'm going to be that person. I'm going to do that. And even what I've done, I haven't done what I want to do, what I need to do, what I will do yet. I know it because I'm talking about full out mogul. But did they have the opportunities? Did they have the same opportunities? That's like so many rappers at that time. Some of the biggest rappers, some of the most influential rappers, they've never made $1 million for a show. They've never made what they absolutely deserve based on the doors that they opened for others, based on their level of talent, their level of influence. They've never been rewarded for doing any of those things. And now they get to sit back and watch other artists who they know is not as talented as them, but just because of where we are with everything, with, you know, whether it's social media or
All right, I completely agree with what she's trying to say here. I really get it. Like, there are legends out there who paved the way for these. Like, and I'm not even talking about female or male rap stars. I'm just talking about rap in general. There are these legends out here who paved the way, and then these young little kids come in and make millions of this rap thing, and they're not even as nearly as talented as the legends, and then at the same time they are very disrespectful towards the legends as well. I think that's why I don't really like the new stuff, like you know what I mean. There's no respect there. But yeah, I fully agree with Nicki here.
rap being just the #1 genre of music or whatever in the world, they have to now sit back. I know that can't be easy for them to watch. Because now they have to watch that they can't send their grandchild, for instance, to college. Whereas with all of the jewels that they gave to the culture, they should have been able to send their grandkids to college based on what they put into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't get that. So yes, it's always been my goal to show you give everything away, you give it away, you give it up, you know, like can't go and see your parents all the time. You can't go and there's so many things you just give up. You might not Thanksgiving, Christmas, you know what I mean? While everybody is enjoying their family and stuff like that, and then one day you wake up and years have gone by and people start to die. And then you look back and think to yourself, was it worth it?
Missing the moments.
Missing all these moments that you'll never get back. Like, I remember one of the most devastating things in my life was missing. My little brother was graduating from elementary school. And I just remember screaming at my mother, I can't believe you didn't tell me.
Yeah, that little nigga will be alright, man. I thought it was something devastating, like missing his little elementary thing. That little nigga will be fine.
You know, that he was graduating, and she basically was like, oh, I didn't think it was gonna be, it was a big deal to you. And I'm like, what do you mean?
He'll be
like,
alright.
Yes, that's a big deal to me.
He'll be
That was
alright.
a big
He'll
thing.
be
And
alright.
for him to look out in that audience and not see his big sister, I
He'll
was
be
like,
alright.
I remember I was in Europe at the time, and I told her I would have rearranged and rerouted my whole tour to make sure I was there to see him graduate. But little by little, even your family, even your loved ones, they start thinking, oh, I'm not going to bother him with this. I'm not going to bother her with that.
Yeah.
Instead of realizing, no, those are the things
These
I need.
things are important to me.
Yes, you know, it's important for you as a human being, yo, as for your spirit, your soul, and as an artist. If you're not experiencing real life and real love and real heartfelt emotions, what are you writing about? And that's why everybody now is just writing about, you know,
Nothing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
A bunch of nothing, because when you first, that's why. People always go back, to like when an artist first came in, because we always have that hunger,
The most to
or
say.
that pain, that this, because we're in it, we're in the moment. I have to remind myself now all the time, stay in the moment, get back in the moment. You just left the moment, come back to the moment. Because I'm always
Ahead.
yeah, like thinking about what's tomorrow, what's next week, what's this tomorrow. Okay. And there are magical things happening that
Right in front
I'm
of
not
you.
experiencing. I'm there physically, but I'm not experiencing it because I'm not there.
How much time do you spend alone?
Well,
And that's got to be tough at
That's a great
this
question.
level.
I actually spend a lot of time alone. I love being alone, actually. I'm one of those people that I used to just love getting off a tour just so I could just be in my bedroom alone and watch TV and do whatever I wanted to do and just, I've never been one of those people that needs to go out to the club and stuff like that, or be around other people. But I think it is important, for me to try to do it. But to be honest, a lot. I mean, obviously my husband and my son, are always there, but I would say I spend a good amount of time in my own world, in my own little space.
Good. Okay. You mentioned earlier mogul, and that should be important at this juncture. What do you feel needs to be done or added for you to hit that vision, your vision of mogul?
Well, all of my beauty deals, like
I thought she said
Tell me
booty.
about beauty deals. I don't know.
all of just stuff,
'Cause I was gonna ask.
makeup and hair and clothes and sneakers and da.
So you have all of those things happening.
I do. I have them happening. But there have been things that I put on hold in the last maybe year or two because obviously you never want to negotiate anything when you're not at your best in terms of what you're
Top tip.
putting out into the world. Like, if you're a basketball player, you don't want to negotiate a deal when you've just had, when you haven't played, when you haven't been a starter or, for a long time. But you do want to negotiate that deal when you just been, a starter in every MVP in every last game, and you've been putting up, 40 points a game. You know what I'm saying? You do want to negotiate your deals then because you're going to get what you're worth.
Yeah.
So I hadn't been putting out music, right? So
But the last music you put out was received well.
well, no, because there was a lot of what's the word?
It was mid. It was mid. It was mid. I ain't gonna lie.
Like remember with the Queen album, there was a lot of bullshit going on, and I don't think that it was presented correctly. It's not
Received well, but not presented correctly.
right. Yeah, and I don't think mentally I was in the right place. Even like with what I did afterwards. Like once that body of work was out, I don't think that I even presented myself correctly, in terms of what I was saying and how I was saying it.
Dark time? Did you have to present something at that time?
No, I don't even think I should have put out an album at that time. I don't think that I was ready to put the album
That's
out.
really honest.
But it was something really stupid now that I think about it. Something stupid. I think it was like the VMAs were coming up, and then also one of my label mates was about to drop, and I wanted to make sure that she and I had our own week, each our own week, I think, and also be in time for the VMAs. It was something like that was going on, and that's stupid. You never base your art around an award show, around a photo, like around no, your art is your art. All that stuff can wait. Because when the art is great, all that stuff comes. You don't need to chase it. You don't need to figure that out. It figures itself out, So I don't even think the album should have been put out at that time when it was, in my opinion.
So, like every artist, you decide to go away and get it right. Because last project was what, 4 years ago?
Right. Well, I was about to. I would have been putting something out after that, but
Right. Right. Okay. 25:33. We're gonna stop here. This is gonna be part two. Um. Uh. We're gonna have to wait for the. I think I might do part three tomorrow. If I get the time, I'll do part three tomorrow. If not, I'll do it on Sunday. Yeah, I'll see. But I think if I'm gonna do one tomorrow or Sunday, if I'm gonna do one on Sunday, I'll just make part three. I'll make it longer. But yeah, instead of doing it in segments like this. But yeah. So this was part two. Um, yeah. You know what? On this part too, like it wasn't too much of not like she was really. I like how Joe Biden is doing this interview. Actually, it's really great. He's really just asking like straight, direct questions, and Nick is being very open, so which is lovely to see. So yeah, I can't wait to do part three. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers, so please run it up. All right.